Hello everyone. I am Arthur. The international server has just launched, and many players are starting from scratch, with many new players joining. Everyone shares a common question. Which characters are worth prioritizing for training and upgrading stars? The characters in Sword of Convallaria are well designed, with almost none being completely useless or replaced. However, the cost of developing characters is high, requiring 300 memory shards to upgrade a character from 1 star to 5 stars, with a maximum of only 3 memory shards available per day for a character, which means it takes 100 days. Therefore, randomly picking characters for memory shards is definitely not recommended. As a senior player on the Taiwan server for a year, who is consistently ranked within the top 100 in the Tower of Adversity, international server not yet open, I hope my advice will be somewhat helpful. Below, I will review the characters in the order they were released. By the way, if you think I am wrong, you are definitely right, as these evaluations are very subjective. Please consider only the parts that are useful to you, and even if a character is not popular, as long as you like and frequently use it, it's worth training. Let's get started. I will divide the characters into 4 categories: S, A, B, C. Go. Faycal is a character who can counter long-range attacks, and the range is unlimited. After attacking, he can apply debuffs to enemies. His ultimate has impressive damage and range, and his alert skill can disrupt enemy actions, protecting key characters. However, his damage and range in the later stages are not as good as newer characters, and his chances of getting into the game are lower. Not recommended to farm for shards. Note, as a character that can be obtained for free, the initial rating is B. Maitha. As an important tank early in the game, Maitha has very practical skills. She can defend, heal, charge, and knock back. Her damage reduction ability is also outstanding. However, as you conquer more levels, the usage rate of defensive classes begins to drop significantly, and you might regret having invested too much Castalia into her. Although very useful in the early stages, it is not recommended to farm for shards. Rawiyah, the big sister everyone relies on. As an early game attack character, she is incredibly powerful. Her basic attack can knock back, and when strike back, she heals before sending enemies flying, which is quite impressive. She also carries the Sword of Convallaria's major aura, being the most important of the 3 free characters. Unfortunately, her damage multiplier is not high enough in the later stages, and her appearance rate remains low, not recommended to farm for shards. Samantha is a healing specialized character. When she or an ally is attacked and injured, she immediately heals. Combined with her resolve, she can even take on boss ultimates in the early stages, more useful than a tank. But group healing has a cooldown, and it must be cast by planting a flag every round, which is a clear disadvantage. Her usage rate in later stages is not high, not recommended to farm for shards, at most 3 stars. Dantalion. As the bearer of the Iria's major aura, the aura provides very high damage enhancement, and even for the aura effect alone, he is worth bringing into later stages. Plus, he has a practical and cool wide-range knockback. His skills can convert physical into magical attacks, easing the lack of magical attack characters in the early stages. But he is already very useful at 1 star. Not recommended to farm for shards unless there are no other SSRs worth training. Recommended star level, 2 stars. Beryl. The official darling. Just look at her exquisite clothes, and you can tell her status in the creator's heart. She combines attack, support, AoE, and even healing skills into one, an all-around character. The magic attack value given by her stars is very high, coupled with energy recovery, matched with an important skill of the mage class, NRG restoration. She will not lack energy. It is recommended to prioritize farming for shards, recommended 5 stars. Call. The first character in the game with Act Again, a powerful owner of the Alacrity's major aura, high single target damage skills. She is the one you rely on in critical moments. Note that she becomes weaker next to teammates. Remember to keep her away from the teammates. Yes, it is her. It is recommended to prioritize farming for shards, recommended 5 stars. Gloria. The perfect paladin. She is like a command tower on her own. With her in the battle, the situation is always more favorable. Holder of the Union's major aura, her flag raising increases teammates' mobility, and can restore teammates' energy, prevent injuries, among other buffs. Her attack capability is also very strong, high mobility, high multiplier single target skills, AoE, charge, knockback, If I had to choose the most valuable character, I would undoubtedly choose Gloria, recommended to prioritize farming for shards, 5 stars. Leonide. Leonide, according to his character description, theoretically, if the field is large enough, Leonide's charge damage will be very high, but his usability is very limited. His skill Radiant Guard allows all attacks to knock back if his HP is higher than the enemy's, combined with Destiny Tarot for unexpected effects. The skill is interesting but not easy to use, with a low chance of appearing in games. Not recommended to farm for shards. Teadon. A defense-specialized character, capable of shielding, lowering attack, and causing widespread vulnerable, very useful in early boss fights. His area-wide alertness while on standby, trinket with Hunter's Intuition, works well against minions. It's worth noting that if you have a shield and it isn't broken through, you won't be affected by debuffs, a useful tip for early encounters with weaponry trial too. Still, the use of defensive characters drops in later stages. Not recommended to farm 4 shards. NonoWill. An attack and support dual-role character, with exclusive vulnerable 3, making her value enduring. With Veil, she reduces area damage by 99%. With NonoWill, the difficulty of conquering weaponry trial 1 significantly reduces. She can also teleport, poison, and sleep enemies, very useful in the Tower of Conquest. Star upgrades don't significantly enhance her, recommended to stop at 3 stars. 3-star Veil cooldown is 2 turns, sufficient. Garcia. Garcia is a character with a distinct personality. Once she's warmed up, her damage output is considerable, and she's easy to operate. However, Sword of Convallaria is a fast-paced game, and her ability to quickly clear stages and later challenges means she barely gets a chance to appear, which is unfortunate. Although I love her demonic laugh, it's not recommended to farm for shards. If you really like her, the strength at certain star levels is required. Recommended 3 or 5 stars, but consider the high cost of 5 stars carefully. Guzman. Guzman is the only character I have never played. His trait allows him to revive, becoming stronger the lower his health is. However, I've never seen him in PvP, Clash, or Tower of Adversity. Only one player I know uses him, and his appearance rate isn't high. Not recommended to farm for shards. LilyWill. LilyWill with a Volder Aura is a powerful archer who can ignore obstacles and attack enemies directly. Her ultimate can reach up to 5 range, and her reaction skill can interrupt 1 melee attack and teleport her next to an ally. Her basic attack has a high damage multiplier. Star upgrades don't enhance her significantly. Not recommended to prioritize shard farming, but the changes after reaching 5 stars are impressive. Paired with Star Raid Crossbow or Flying Blade Arm Guard, standing on high ground can reduce cooldown times. Achieving infinite flying blade attacks or continuous ultimates, recommended 3 or 5 stars. Inanna. Currently the only support character who can enable an ally to act again at the start of combat. She summons a princess guard on the battlefield who can perform defense aid or attract enemy fire. Very practical. This minion's actions also accumulate tactic preparation, beneficial in the long run. Inanna is worth acquiring, but useful from 1 star. Not recommended to neglect carry to prioritize her star upgrades. Though given her appearance rate, upgrading her stars is a worthwhile investment. Recommended 1 or 4 stars. Xavier. Xavier specializes in area damage, but the downside is that his multipliers aren't high enough, serving only to clear minions. After level 55, he can learn an important passive skill that starts battles with full energy and an additional speed of plus 150, making him the fastest character in all scenarios. Ideal for preemptive strikes, frequently seen in Clash but mainly suited for Clash or PvP, not recommended for shard farming. Magnus. General Magnus, possessing the Fortitude Aura, provides his aura members with excellent damage reduction and defense capabilities. If enemies get close to Magnus, their attack and defense capabilities are reduced. Having both Gloria and Magnus in early game can significantly reduce the difficulty of challenging bosses. His skill Cry of Victory can decrease enemy attack and increase our damage, very powerful. His basic attack covers an area, adding to his appeal. Notably, his forceful cast can throw enemies and even explosive barrels, very useful in climbing the Tower of Conquest. Recommended star level, 3 stars. Consider 5 stars if there's a spot available. Miguel. Miguel possesses the Drifter Aura, which doesn't provide special trait enhancements but slightly improves basic attack and defense qualities. His ability to jump over characters or objects is a unique feature, effective in certain battles. His special skill, Blinding Powder, causes physical attackers to miss their attacks, but unfortunately, it lasts only for one round, and a future powerful character will also have blind skill, leading to low appearance rates for Miguel, not recommended for shard farming. Nergal. Although a defender, Nergal possesses respectable offensive capabilities and is part of the Alacrity faction, benefiting from Call's powerful aura. His special reaction allows him to dodge all single target attacks when near death, but since it only dodges single target attacks, he can still die from area damage, not practical enough. His Mark Illumination is a powerful instant skill that quickly applies 3 useful debuffs to enemies, aiding the team in defeating opponents. Unless you particularly like this character, it's also not recommended to farm for shards. Nungal. An extremely powerful long-range sniper, the farther away from the enemy, the higher the damage, able to snipe enemies up to 8 range away. Early sniping skills are not very effective. It's recommended to go with basic attacks, and after learning Quick Reload at level 55, paired with Inanna, he can achieve up to 320% damage in one turn, a frequent presence on various battlefields. Recommended star levels: 4 or 5 stars. Momo. Known as the Alert Attack Queen, Momo possesses a high resistance to physical attacks when protected by a barrier. Her unique area knockback ability can swiftly eliminate enemies in various situations. Best equipped with Hunter's Intuition, she becomes very easy to operate after reaching level 55. By activating Doom Waken and placing her in the middle of the battlefield, she ensures all enemies are eradicated. When enemies enter her alert range, they get attacked. If they attempt an attack, they are hit again, and after attacking, they are counterattacked. If they are still not defeated, an infection, leading to their demise. Iggy. The Volder clan usually possesses high mobility and the ability to jump, giving them an advantage in highland terrain, and Iggy is no exception. He can blow a horn to aid his clanmates and also perform an instant move, crossing through the center of enemies and deploying a crystal dust smoke bomb. Then, he can't come back. Just kidding. His high multiplier ultimate at level 55 is effective against tough shielded enemies but has a low appearance rate in later stages. Not recommended for shard farming. Alexei. A very simple and easy to use character, specializing in counterattack damage. Activate Counterattack Storm, and pair it with the skill Gore Drinker. Just move towards the center of the enemies, and they will automatically fall. As the first character to possess Infinite Resolve, his tanking ability is undoubtedly strong, but it lasts only for 1 round. If you want it for 2 rounds, it requires 5 stars, which entails a high cultivation cost. However, such high difficulty bosses have not appeared, at least not within the last year, so it is not recommended to farm for shards. Edda offers wide-range damage enhancement, increased mobility, energy recovery, and instant box placement, enabling carry to capitalize on high ground advantages. The most distinctive feature is her unique wine barrel casting, which can control both enemy and ally speeds and positioning, and forcibly reduces magic defense by 40%, greatly enhancing magical output. She can also provide assisting attacks, accumulating significant damage. A very powerful support. Highly recommended. Useful from 1 star. Consider shard farming only if there is a vacancy. This concludes the introduction to all characters on the international server, hoping it is helpful. Additionally, there may be errors in skill descriptions due to translation. Please excuse any misunderstandings or unclear meanings. I am Arthur. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.